Well, hello everybody. I'm about to show you how I made this pendant. I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I'm about to show you how I did it using a couple of moulds I made myself from various metal pieces I have lying about the place. I'm not sure where all of them would have come from. Some might have been Tim Holtz, some might have been anybody. But the basic idea is you've got a dial, metal dial, and I just made moulds with these. You see? And also, for the more detailed parts, I used these. These are from ArtyCo, and these are the ordinary dials, excuse me, and cogs. And these are the compass dials and clock faces and the hands, which I found absolutely lovely. I mean, it takes some practice to get a really decent result, but you can get a very nice result, as you can see with this. Beautiful. And the detail in the compass dials doesn't look like much, but when you highlight it with something like treasure silver, only actually I used pewter because I didn't have the treasure silver at the time, so something like pewter, and it's come up gorgeous, really gorgeous. In fact, all of these have come up beautifully, and I'm about to show you exactly how I made it. Okay. Right, here I am putting together pendant. This is a SteamPunk pendant, and what I've done is I've got together these impressions from a mould, and it's just from some bits I got in the post, some metal ones, and I just made a mould of them, and those are the moulds. Some other bits as well that I had lying about, and then I just put some clay in and got these out. A bit of trimming, and there you are. Now I want to use this piece, but it's quite delicate, so I'm going to stick it there. I don't know whether I'm going to use that or not. But if I do, I'm going to use this piece, this little bit underneath, to support the little thing. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to have to use some of this stuff. Bacon bond. Okay, so we'll take all these bits off. And use some of this to stick stuff down. Put it on the back of here. Just make sure that there is a decent connection. I'm just showing you exactly the same procedure as I've shown in real time, and here I've just speeded it up because it's the same. You don't need to watch it in real time, it's just exactly the same procedure. Okie doke. And this one is going to go on top of all of the rest of them to match up with that other one. Just a little bit of bacon bond there. There you go. Turn it over and sit it on there. I just want something for this one, so I'm going to use some of these little bits here. They're from coins, very small coins I got from Lisa Pavelka. I just made a mould and I'm using it. So they're not particularly they're not particularly cogs and gearish, but I thought the sizes were quite good.
Don't want it too far up because I want to do a hole there for where's that? There we are, for hanging the pendant. Oh, I've just got to cut that shape out. Doesn't matter if the bacon bond gets mixed in with more clay, that's just fine. Now I'm continuing with the clock, the SteamPunk gears and cogs and the clock bits. This one. SteamPunk clock and compass faces, that one. And this one, which is the, I'll just slide this off, SteamPunk cogs and gears, this one, and there's all the ones I've done. I've used some of them in here. I've just been playing around with positioning what I'm going to put where. See, some of these are already on and some are not. I'm just using these as spacers. These are already done. And painted. These are painted but not on. I've got a little stopper here to hold one of the cogs proud. I should have a couple more here really, but there we are. And this one I was wanting to go somewhere like that. Now, where did I have them? I had one there. You've got to avoid the hole here, you see, so that's got to be slightly to the side. That's a compass, that one, not a clock. Here are some of the items I'm thinking of using. Let's put some of the others away that I'm not. I've got a bit more space. There's Rub and Buff. That's Autumn Gold, that one. Might use that. Turn this little light off and take my headset off. I can't see a thing. Sorry for close-up work, but not for anything else. Now, I've got Indigo, Treasure Gold. Unfortunately, it's quite dark. You can imagine it's not going to show up very well on that, is it? No. So we'll put that aside for now. And we'll carry on thinking here. I got a few more other bits out, you know, like some of the metal pieces I've already got. It's a good guide for colour if you want to go that route. Or just use it with it. And I was also thinking, I didn't mention this before, but I was also thinking about using something like this. Play being on clock face, because that's a face. Or this one that looks a little bit more like it. I might go over that with some copper to bring out the eyes and the nose. This one had the lilac on. That one, I believe. Or it might have been the indigo. But you see what I mean? Sort of clock face. So instead of using the hands on the clock, use a face on the clock. And a hand somewhere else on the clock. Like things have come apart and drifted. Now, I've got all these creative expressions. Yes. Metallic gilding mixes. That's amethyst. That's autumn bronze. That's golden lilac. And I like this one particularly, enchanted gold. It's quite a nice pale colour, but it's a goldy colour. And that one is patina, one of my favourites. That's ultramarine, and then we have teal. Teal is quite close to the patina. And then I've got these, what do you call it? Treasure gold ones. That's emerald. Before that's the lilac one. Pewter. That's a really good one. I might decide to go for that one. That's the kind of thing I was thinking of. But then there's also copper. That's my oldest one. Ooh. Might need a bit of refreshing because it's gone all solid. And that's ruby. That one. But also you can make your own with stuff like Surface Effects Making Waves. These are just powders, you see, but the same thing applies to Pearlex and Perfect Pearls. You can add them to some beeswax, and I've got myself a little pot that's empty, a little jam pot. I could use that, make up a colour. And then there's these little gleams. These are quite good. Rich copper. Cardinale. Rich copper, cardinale. Cardinal, just means red. Citrus green. And cobalt. Nice colours. Let's just put them all here so you can see them all at once. And then there's cerise. And oh look, cerise. I've got two cerises. Ha! Never mind. That's a nice colour, that one. Rich copper. And then the other thing you can use is, let me put these down, stuff like this, Inca Gold. But the only one of those I've got is copper. And it's a bit fierce. I mean, this is copper, and it's much more coppery and less sort of orange. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with the ones I'm not intending to use, so as to see what looks good. Right. Well, I don't know if I'm not intending to use those or intending. I'm not intending to use that one. Might be using those. Oh, that needs a little touch up of paint. Let's try that one. And one with some surface detail. Here we are, these ones have surface detail. So we'll go over these with some of the wax and see what happens. What I might do is do each one in a separate colour. Just to see. I mean, some of them I'd use 2 lots of colour. This is my newest one. Hardly used it. So, this has got quite a lot of detail. Doesn't that bring it out beautifully? Yes, I do like that. There we go. So that's that one. I just want my piece of tissue to wet my finger, and I've got some alcohol wipes. I do recommend these when using waxes, because you need to be able to get the wax off your fingers so that you don't contaminate the next colour. So there we go. And you need to have some, I'd need to have some hand cream available, because it does dry your hands out quite a bit, but a bit of hand cream, no problem. So that's that one. Let's try a copper one. See, even though that one's a bit iffy, it still goes on nicely. It's my oldest one. It must be about 10, 15, maybe more years old. Had it so long. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Good. Next one. What colour shall we go for next? So I was going to use a bit of, oh yes, this one. See, I'm going for the base colours first, the colours I would put at the base. Because afterwards you put more colour on top. Now you see why I put the black on first. Isn't that lovely? You're getting some lovely, lovely effect. I like that. Dinner. I might have to go and find my whatchamacallit colour. See, that's not going on at all well. No. I will have to pause the thing and go and find some turps. That's what you use to reconstitute these things. But I don't know where my turps is. So it could be anywhere. So I'm going to have to deal with that. But in the meantime, before I go and hunt for that, I'm going to try a little bit of the emerald. Nice. Another way to put it on is with a cotton bud, and if you've got some indentations that you want to get the colour into, that's what you want to use. But I actually like it when it takes up the indentations and just shows what you've got. So we've got that, and if I want patina, I've got to go and find the doodah. Trips. So next thing to do, apart from find turps, is I could try a bit of that one. See, I would use the emerald and something like this citrus green, which is very like chartreuse, on something that's already got the copper on, so that you're getting another shade on top. Like the copper has had some patina. See, isn't that gorgeous? That is just lovely. I love that. And you can do the same thing with something like that. So that's metal, and you can just dust that over it. See? Isn't that super? Now, like I said, you can have a little bit of the purples in with those. What have we got? I think those are too bright. I don't want that kind of purple. But amethyst, now if only it's capable of being constituted. I mean, I keep these things in a... No, it's no good. I keep them in a Ziploc bag, but it's not enough. No, I've got to go and get some turps. Sad, but there we are. Anyway, gives you an idea. I'd really like that effect. That is stunning. I love that. I would do the same with this one. So actually I could do that now. And that one, I love that one as well. There, makes it look like worn copper. Lovely. Nice copper, worn copper. So I could use that one. That one's not gone. this is a lovely soft one. Don't want that much. Just a little tiny bit. There we go. And a bit of emerald, because we've got the what's that one called? Citrus green, sort of chartreusey. So there we are, nice. I love that, lovely. Bit in here. Treasure copper is a lot more expensive than that. I think that's four quid, something like that, for a pod. 4.65, 4.95, something like that. This is £7 and up. Too much on, didn't I? Zoom in a little bit. Right. Move these up so you can see them. But look at the gorgeous colour, isn't that lovely? So that went a bit over the top, so I'll go back over it with a bit more copper. There we go, just a touch. And that one is now lovely. So I'll go over the rest of this as well. With the copper. I think that's what I'll do. I'll do the copper. I mean, I do like that silver one, but copper's where it's at. Don't want the flaky bits. And it doesn't half show up the lovely detail. Now we're not going to see all of this because I'm putting these things on the top, but I'm just going over it a little bit. And I might go over that with a bit of cotton bud in order to get into some of the areas that I can't reach with my little stubby fingers. Complete the effect, I'd want to go over the back as well. I mean, it's just a surface at the back, like a piece of old metal.